So the American dream is a lie. And before you scroll on, hear me out. I'm sure once it was made originally.
Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about American Dream is a trap. So I've put the stitches together so that you watch. I'll be back to share.
So the American dream is a lie. And before you scroll on, hear me out. I'm sure once it was made originally, it was probably actually somewhat true. But over the years, the way that the system has changed to basically put us at a disadvantage has a lot of implications. And let me get into it here. So think about the idea of the American dream. It says if you work hard enough, you can achieve your dream. You can live a good life. Just work hard. And what the implications of that is saying that if you don't live your dream, then you're not working hard enough. You're lazy, right? You just need to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and you need to work harder and then you'll get your dream. And that kind of makes sense, except for it's ignoring all the systemic changes and issues that literally are fighting against us being able to accomplish this American dream. Like, let's just look at how basically, who does that benefit, right? Like, we have to pick ourselves up, we have to work harder, right? Well, we're working for someone, right? So that's making those people richer, right? It's not actually, helping us very much. We're getting a couple more hours a day, maybe with our third or fourth job, but it's like it's mainly putting money to the top, to the people that own the companies. And then not only that, but if we decide to go out on our own, it's extra hard because we have to earn like triple the amount of money that we would in a job, or double, I would say double the amount of money that we would in a job because of healthcare. Because basically in our system, healthcare is tied to our job at this point. So if we quit our job, we're basically gonna die. You know what I mean? Like, we can't get healthcare for our family. Like, not only that, but like, think about how everything has gotten more expensive. Inflation has gone crazy. But how much have they been paying us? What's the minimum wage? Stayed about the same. You know what I mean? Like, it has not increased. The housing costs has increased exponentially. Like, there's so many things that have make it so that the American dream is not sustainable, not obtainable, and is literally propaganda at this point. And and that is what so many people still believe. And they just believe that they're lazy, or people that are lazy that aren't working hard enough. When the American dream was set, it wasn't the world that we're living in today. It was way more obtainable. It was possible to start your own business and to get a job and to get a job at McDonald's and succeed. And have a house and have a family and afford everything you would want. But that's not how it is anymore.
Bills are a scam. Taxes are a scam. America is a scam. America is scamming American citizens out of all of their money, out of their livelihood, out of their inspirations, just draining people's energy. It's so hard to live here because if you look at other places, like Italy, for instance, if you've ever been there, you know the drastic difference from the food quality to the people's quality of life. It is just insane. America is so behind. Everyone thinks that America is like doing good. America is the place to be. No, it's not. Mostly everyone, almost everyone, not everyone, but most of the people here are like zombies. They're slaves to their job, trying to make the American dream work when the American dream is dead. The American dream does not exist anymore because the amount you need to work in order to have the things that you want and have the American dream would be 7 days a week all day. So guess what? You have no time to do the things that you love. Something needs to change drastically.
What's a scam that's become so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore?
The American dream. You get up at 5 in the morning, rush to be out of the house at 5:30, try to make it to work at 6. You work a 12-hour shift. In those 12 hours, you take crap from your managers and coworkers. You eat at whatever time they say that you can eat for the amount of time that you can eat. You have sick days, but if you use them, it's frowned upon. So if you want to aspire to be anything within the company, try not to use them. Then you work until you're 62 years old. You pay bills until you die, and you're expected to be grateful. Forgive me, but that it doesn't make any sense. And don't get me wrong, I'm grateful that I can go out to work to provide for my house. In fact, the Bible says that he who does not work should also not eat. So I'm in favor of hard work. What I'm not in favor of, though, is abuse. People putting their jobs in factories before their own health. When they don't need you anymore, you're gone. But if you want to leave, you better put in those 2 weeks. So yeah, it's a scam.
The American dream is debt. Let's talk about it. All of the aspects of the typical American dream is literally debt. Going to that incredible university, the private out-of-state university or the Ivy League university, you have 6 figures of debt. Driving that nice car, you have a 4-figure car note. Having a mortgage, you're locked into a 30-year loan. If you want affordable health insurance or a 401k, you need to work in that 9 to 5. If you don't want to be screwed by the tax people, you need to get married and have kids. The American dream is to be in debt and to have so many dependents that you have no choice but to work and work and work until you literally can't work anymore and have no choice but to retire. That is the American dream. And we're also taught socially to subconsciously look down on people who choose alternative paths. People who are more free than the average person, people who choose not to have children, who choose not to get married, who choose not to work in corporate, people who choose to go to community college or trade school instead of getting, like up to 6 figures of debt at a university. People who choose to drive beaters or to buy used cars instead of brand new cars off the lot. Those people are looked down upon because that is not in line with the American dream, which is to get as much debt as you can so that you don't have a choice but to work. It's just something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Like, the American dream is literally just you getting into debt. So
listen, if you still want to come to America because you believe in the American dream, let me tell you something. That dream died like 30 plus years ago, and now we're living in a dream that involves paying $10 for a dozen of shitty fucking eggs, paying $2,000 a month for an apartment in the ghetto that's about 700 square feet and it has no walls. And then if you want to go to university here, you're looking at around $100,000 for a 4-year education. That's on the low end. But in those 4 years, you might get shot because everyone seems to want to shoot each other for some ungodly reason. Then you're going to graduate thinking, oh, I graduated, I have a degree now, I'm going to get a good job. Your good job is going to pay you about $40,000 starting off, maybe, and then they're going to say you're going to work 40 hours a week, when in reality you're going to be working about 50 plus hours a week because they're going to guilt trip you in by saying, we're a family, we're a team, we help each other. And they're not going to pay you overtime for that because why would they? If they get your help for free, why would they pay you for that? Okay, then there's no work-life balance. That company you're working for now doesn't want to give you vacation days until like maybe your 2nd year working there, and those vacation days are maybe 4 days out of the whole entire year. That includes holidays. All right, then if you're sick, too bad, you still have to come to work. Okay, then if you want to buy groceries, your groceries are going to be your whole entire paycheck because no one can afford to eat here anymore. Got it? I go to the grocery store for 4 things, it's like $50. I'm just saying it sucks living here. I don't want to live here. I want to leave. So maybe you should rethink your whole American dream because it's not what it's all crap.
I'm just gonna say it because nobody else is saying it, even though we're all thinking it. The American dream is to leave America. I traveled the world for 6 months straight by myself. 4 months in Asia, 2 months in Europe. And no, don't come at me. I've been on my own since I was 18 years old. And yes, of course, I'm blessed to be an American. I'm blessed to have a strong passport. And I'm blessed that I've been able to start my own business and travel the world. But I'm telling you, I've been home for over a year now. There's not one city in the United States that makes my soul feel alive, that makes me feel like I have community, that makes me feel like people are loving and respectful and not divided and judgmental. It's toxic here. We have no love here. People literally think that I'm the crazy one. And I'm like, you guys, we're falling apart. I find so much more love and so much more support, so much more community in Bali. I'm in Spain, when I'm in Italy, when I'm in Thailand. I've traveled to 10 different countries by myself. I'm telling you, being here will strip your soul. I say this because I want to see if anyone else is feeling this way. And if you need help, like I want to get out as well, and I need direction to make money online and support myself financially abroad, please contact me. I'm a business coach.
I think a lot of people would say that my life story is the embodiment of the American dream. I was born to a single mom. We were poor for most of my childhood, faced a lot of hardship, a lot of adversity. We were homeless at times. Eventually, towards the end of high school, her substance abuse, her mental health took a decline. I started living on my own at 17. We were estranged, yada, yada, yada. I worked really hard my whole life, did well in school, got almost a full ride to BC, graduated right out of school. I had a 6-figure job. I would say I'm pretty successful now. So you might think I would sit here and say, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Work hard. The American dream is real. Hell no, it's not. It's not real. And part of it's real, but it is built on so much privilege and luck, and no one ever talks about that part. And I have so many stories I can share about how I made it by the skin of my teeth. And to this day, I'm still fighting so hard because it's hard to support yourself fully on your own and have no family as a backup. And all those stories are in the book that I'm writing and hopefully will have out one day. But today I thought I would focus on the stars that aligned and the luck I had that allowed me to be successful, because people always say, like, why can't this person just work harder, blah, blah, blah. There's so many things that get in the way, and there's so many things in areas where I lucked out that allowed me to like achieve the American dream, and I wanted to address those and why other people aren't in the same position I'm in or other successful people are. Because yes, there are a lot of people that are born into poor families and make it out and are rich and are wealthy, but there's way more people that are born into the same fate, work as hard or even harder, and don't get the same results. So my number one privilege, education. So first of all, I was born and raised Massachusetts. Best education in the country. I couldn't afford to go to a private school, obviously, so I went to public schools. I also happened to luck out and that I went to Grafton Public Schools and Tantasco Public Schools, which are both really good school systems. They had AP classes, they had honors classes, National Honor Society, college prep. If I had gone to a school where the education wasn't as good, there weren't as many class offerings, they didn't help me apply to college, who knows where I'd be. And not only the school systems, like my mom, she fell off a little bit towards the end of my childhood, but she was a great mom when I was younger, and she read to me every night, and she taught me how to do math, and she told me, like, you will go to college no matter what. She was the first in her family to go to college. She didn't even graduate. I'm a first generation college graduate, and that's because of my mom. And some people don't have parents that tell them that or sit down with them and teach them how to do things. And side note, reading is supposed to be taught by parents, not by teachers. So anyways, I lucked out in the education department. Number two, I'm an only child. And you might be thinking, like, why does that matter? But I didn't have any younger siblings to support or parents to support. So to back that up a little bit, I'm an only child. I always think about how when I was 5 years old, my mom had just married my stepdad and asked me, do you want a younger sibling? I don't know if she listened to me specifically, but I said no. And I'm like, thank God, because imagine if when I was supporting myself on my own, putting myself through college, working all these shifts at a restaurant, whatever, if I also had a sibling who was 6 years younger than me, who my mom couldn't take care of, I would have felt the burden to take care of them. And I know so many people who are the oldest child or have younger siblings and don't go to college so they can stay in their hometown and work and support their younger siblings. I was so lucky not to have that. And also with my mom, like, I supported us for a while, and then when I was 17, I was like, I'm out. I'm living on my own. I'm done supporting you. I gave her some money here and there. And this, like, I'm not proud of this. This eats me up. Sometimes I think I should have supported her more. It's a very complicated situation, but, like, I wasn't supporting my mom at the end of the day. Some people have to support their parents or help their parents pay the bills. So I was very privileged in that I was only supporting myself. Lastly, I'm white. And maybe you're thinking, like, oh, the race card, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not even going to dive into the whole, like, systemic racism and how I benefited from that. I'm just going to talk about how I was doing some shady stuff. Mainly it was because I was poor and I was fighting for my life. But for example, I got pulled over for driving without insurance. I got pulled over for driving with a suspended license. I got pulled over after buying weed in a Cumbies parking lot. And I didn't really get in trouble for any of it. And I think a large part of that is, like, look at me, like, innocent, white, redhead girl. I got away with murder. And who's to say, like, maybe if I was black, if I was a person of color, maybe everything would be the same. I doubt it would be. And I know that in high school, when I was on welfare, when I was homeless, people audibly would make comments to me like, oh, look at that, like, poor girl on food stamps, whatever, because they, like, dressed worse than me, because they were a person of color, whatever. So I benefited infinitely from that. And the list goes on and on and on. I could talk about how I'm not disabled, how I'm not undocumented, whatever. My point is that the American dream, it's real for some people. Hard work can get you places, but only to a certain extent. And this country is systemically built for the rich to benefit, for the white to benefit, for a certain class of people to benefit. And I think we've lost sight of the true American dream of everyone being equal, everyone having opportunity, and not just a select few.
Video, guys. I'm just here also to share my 2 cents, like what I think about today's video. Their American dream is a trap. You need to know this. So, this belief that anyone, regardless of the background, can achieve success and prosperity through hard work has been sold to generations as a promise of upward mobility. But in reality, for many people, it's not a dream at all. It's a careful package illusion, one that keeps people waking themselves to death every time, constantly chasing a lifestyle that's increasing their things. Okay, in today's world, the American dream has become a less about opportunity and more about survival. College degrees no longer guarantee a stable job. Home ownership, once considered a key milestone of success, is out of reach for most of young people due to soaring housing costs and stagnant wages. Instead of hope, many are left with anxiety, burnout, and mountains of debt. What was once a dream rooted in freedom and prosperity has now become a system that traps people in a cycle of labor, okay, and debt. You're told to go to school, take out student loans, get a degree, and then enter the workforce. But what happens when the job market is oversaturated or your degree is undervalued? You're stuck paying off loans with wages that don't match the cost of living. People are working multiple jobs just to make ends meet, not because they are lazy or unmotivated, but because the system is designed to squeeze everything it can out of them. The dream has become a carrot on a stick, constantly moving just out of the reach while people wear themselves down trying to catch it. The American dream also pushes this idea of individual responsibilities while completely ignoring the system bias that exists. It tells poor people that if they're not rich, they're not trying hard enough. It tells immigrants that if they don't make it, it's their fault. It tells working class that struggle is not normal and that someday their hard work will pay off. But for many, that day never comes. Wealthy inequality is at all-time high, and those at the top continue to profit while those at the bottom are taught to greed harder. And the grind culture is glorified in America. Working 60 hours a week is seen as admirable. Not taking vacation is worn as baggage of honor, but behind the mindset is a deep exploitation of human labor and the denial of basic right to live, not to just survive. Even the concept of success in America is a dream wrapped. It's no longer about fulfillment or contributing to your community. It's about status symbols, the house, the car, the job title, the vacations. People are buying into a lifestyle that's curated for social media, not for real happiness. And to achieve that, many are going to into debt, sacrificing their mental health or giving up on their passions. The dream tells you to follow your heart every time, but only if it makes money. It tells you to work hard but pushes you with a burnout. It tells you you're free but you are chained to a system that profits from your benefit in that very freedom. Let's talk about generational differences. Our parents and grandparents were able to build lives with one income, buy homes in their 20s, and retire with pensions. That's no longer the case. Millennials and Gen Zs are growing up in an economy where job security is rare, healthcare is a privilege, and retirement feels like a fantasy. Yet they're still being judged by outdated standard of success. They are blamed for not being able to afford a house where housing prices have multiplied far beyond wage growth. They are called lazy for not staying in the job forever. When loyalty is not rewarded anymore, the dream has shifted, but the pressure to live up to it has not either. And don't get me started on the way capitalism manipulates this dream. Companies market lifestyles and sell people the idea that they're just one purchase away from happiness. You need the latest phone, the nicest clothes, the perfect apartment, and if you don't have it, you made to feel like a failure. But the truth is, no one tells you that the system was never built for everyone to succeed. It was built to keep a few at the top while the rest work endlessly to maintain the illusion. The American dream creates a consumers, not dreamers. It benefits landlords, corporations, and billionaires, not the average citizen. It thrives on competition, scarcity, and comparison. So, what happens when people start waking up to this trap? Many begin to redefine success. They're prioritizing community, mental health, and purpose. They choose slowly living remote work, creative path, and activism. They reject hustles, culture, and start asking deeper questions. What does it mean to be truly happy? What does success look like? We remove capitalism from the equation. What kind of world do we want to live or to build if the current one is broken? More and more people are opting out of the traditional dream, not because they are failures, but because they are refusing to be part of the lie every time. The American dream is a powerful myth. It's been used to inspire generations, but also to control them. It's time to stop pretending that it works for everyone. It's time to challenge the systems that hold people back, that keep people broke, overworked, and underappreciated. If you want a future where people can truly thrive, not just work endlessly for a sliver of hope, we need to imagine new dreams, dreams that are rooted in quality, sustainability, and well being, because the old dream is not possible. It's a trap. And the first step to freedom is realizing that, yeah, in one. Okay. So let me tell you one thing. So I've come a lot of TikTok videos where people are coming online and say how bad it is on the job market right now. People are not getting job. People are not unemployed. So I'm saying they have 3 degrees, but they don't find a job. If they find a job, it's either that company is saying they need 8 years experience. Now, you just graduated from college. Why are you getting the 8 years experience? Like, they're just denying people out of, like, they're just telling you, no, we can't give you a job because they put the conditions which you can't even manage. Where you getting the 8 years versus if you're just 20 years? Why are you getting this? If you're 25, why are you getting the 8 years experience? So, like, people are saying, no, this is not possible. Like, it's not possible. And the fact that now they've brought the AI, which is taking people's jobs, it's gonna be very, very bad. Okay, people now they don't have jobs because most of the companies they prefer getting the AIs because they don't have to pay people like their salary every month. They have like they will make more profits and they'll be working with these AIs and they'll just need a little people who will be controlling these AIs. So it's like everything is stressing people out. People have stopped like believing like we're going to make it. And I've seen a lot of people now giving up on their apartments. We've seen a lot of videos on TikTok. People are going to live in their cars. I had one comment from my YouTube channel, so I'll put a screenshot there. So it says this a comment from my subscriber which says, I was forced to live in my vehicle. It's physically and mentally draining. It's also expensive. Mechanical repair wiped me out. Things change every day. MJ, hallelujah. I'm blessed with new beginnings where there's life, there's hope. Okay. So all these things happens, a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff, different things which you can't even imagine as a person. So sometimes life just hits you bad. So people are now giving up their own homes. They're going now to live in the cars. Just see how mental draining it is. All the in the name of those they say no, if you work hard, you have it all, but people are losing out, they're tired of working so hard, and they're not even achieving these dreams which they're saying. So it's not be like really easy for people now to, and a lot of people I've seen a lot of people coming out of America going to different countries to live, especially those in pension. They're leaving their country, and others which are not in pension, they're just creating their own creatives and all that. They are now traveling to other parts of the world to make ends meet because in America they can just afford to put a roof on their head and eat every day, like live like a normal human being. So most of the people are in Africa. Like I came across one who is in Zambia. He has a pension. Now his pension is not that huge. But in Zambia, actually in my country, they can live with that. They're able to pay for the house, they're able to buy food, and they're able to save something for themselves. So now people are going to that route. And now you know how it is living your own country, the country which you were you were born from, and you have people, friends around you there. Now you're giving up everything which you have a house here, you're going to leave everything now to move to a different country, which you don't even know. So it's like crazy. It's really crazy. So yeah, so that's the video for today, guys. I don't know what you think about today's video, but kindly leave a comment for me so that we discuss in the comment section. What do you think about the American dream for yourself? Is it a trap for people, or how is it? How do you see the whole situation or the whole conversation we've been discussing in this video? How do you judge it? Because people now are giving up, like they're saying, okay, enough is enough, we are done. Okay, and some of the people, they don't have solutions, they just on the streets, or maybe they're on the living in the ghetto, which is not okay. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next episode.